This video has been put together to help explain how the DC motor project is built.
So I'm going to start going over some of the instructions for the plastic motor if you're a virtual student or try to build one at home. Now you can stop the video at any point to review the directions a little bit better or get a clearer understanding, because some of them are confusing. This is page 1, just introduction, tools needed. See, page 2 explains on how we start putting the rotor together, what tools you might need, explain how to tape the insulation on the rotor itself. Page 3, a little bit more, you're spooling the wire up, putting on it, make sure that both sides are wrapped in the same direction to make it function correctly. Assembly of the permanent magnets on the bottom. 2 little screws hold the magnets and you put it on the base. Page 4, there again you're starting to wire, put the axle in and wire the commutator up to make it work. It shows you how to put the plastic on. You have to cut the little clear piece in half. Sand the end of the wires down, build the commutator on 4, 5, and 6. Page 5, you're starting to put it together. And you know, making and installing the brushes, they actually come with a coating on it. A piece of wire, you have to cut it in half and take the coating off to build the brushes with. And you can see the red dotted line explains how to put them on there. At the bottom of the right corner on page 5, you can see the fully assembled motor and how the brushes should look. Page 6 is actually explaining how to hook the battery up to it and adjust the commutator and brushes to make it work, and some things you can do to make it work better. Troubleshooting on why it might not work. In page 7 explains more of how a direct current motor works, and you can see some drawings on the bottom. Like you said, you can freeze this at any time during the video to read the directions to try to understand it a little better. Now we'll kind of roll into some of the videos we've done in class of the students actually building the DC motor. We're in the hallway rolling up our spools. You can see how they're working. Dom's holding one end, Timmy's rolling on the other, same way with Jesse and Zyler. They're putting 50 feet. We marked 50 tiles out on the floor. For 50 feet, each tile's 1 foot. We'll put 50 feet on one side, 50 feet on the other. You guys have any comments for your virtual students?
It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Don't go too fast. Slow down. You guys still got 5 minutes. You'll make it.
Okay, so we can cut this then. We just cut this now?
Just, yeah, hey, wait for me. Did you get your tape and tape over the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, pull back a little bit. We'll make sure you have plenty. They have it spooled up, 50 feet on both sides. Yeah. Now make sure you just take that little piece and put it back. There should be a little holder. You can put it through one of those holes and then just bend it over the side. Okay. Okay, now, since we have the rotor, we have the tape on the rotor, which you can see on the right here. We have to turn the page, and we need to start putting the coil in it. Now, if you notice, it's got 2 little holes in that rotor, correct? In the center plastic. Hold that up there, Mariah. It's got the 2 little holes in the center. What you want to do, you want to pick one of those holes and slide about 6 inches. Is that what it says of extra wire? Yeah. From one of these sides in it, correct? And then we want to start winding on that one side. Now the thing is here, you got to remember, guys, this rotor has to be wound on both sides the same direction. Okay? That makes sense? Just like we did our coil on our tube, we have to wind the stator. So if you're winding it, you know, in front of your hands like this, when you jump across to the other side, we're going to have to wind it the same way. All right, so we're with period 7 again, and we're talking about winding the rotor or getting the rotor set up. Caden's putting the washer and the bolt on it. And you have 2 sides, 2 bolts, 2 washers and a nut. And you have 2 washers and a nut on each bolt, and it kind of works to set up the rotor. And he's going to put it together in this plastic centerpiece, and then he's going to put some insulation tape on it, insulating tape, and then he's going to wrap the coil. Now Mariah's already done this. You can see that she's already wrapping it with Jared holding the tube with the coils on it, and she's taking her time. She's got to insulate it. She put 6 inches through the little tiny hole on it and put it on the other side to get it out of the way. And when she gets this side wrapped up, then she'll unwrap that other little piece and wind the other half of the coil. So it's working pretty good. Let's go back here and see how these guys are. They're ahead. Doing pretty good. Tyler's very meticulous. As long as it's wrapped reasonably, it will function. How are we doing here? Pretty good?
Yeah, good enough.
Tyler still awake? Yes, he's doing a fine job. And the next half, just rotate. So we have to leave just enough room. We got to be able to slide the axle in it when we get it wound up. Tanner's going crazy. He's on the speed wind. Dylan's here. Okay, here's an example of one of last year's class's motors working. You can see it's moving pretty well, pretty rapidly. I did put an extra magnet on the back here on each side. That actually sped it up a little bit. You can see it's just spinning right along like it's supposed to.